get to play that game. It really does feel good. There's so much energy coming from this room. So I'm excited to have you guys here for what we've been working on. I mean, our organization's been at work for, depends on where you consider the start, but Coworking started back in 2011. The Iowa Startup Accelerator started in 2014. Some of the other things we're going to talk about this morning have started over just that whole period of time up to just recently, even last week. So the format today, I'm going to talk for a little bit. I'm going to tell you about our brand. Some of you are seeing the sticker. We had a small event last night doing the official brand unveiling. We made them wait until the very end to even see the logo. So I'm going to flip that on its head and show you that now. So you've already seen it. So that's the sticker for our new organization. And then I'm going to bring up my friend Amanda West. She's going to talk to you about the mission, the vision, the values of our nonprofit. Then we're going to take a break, actually do some Q&A on the brand and the mission. I want to get some community feedback on that. And then that second presentation will be me kind of deep diving into some of the portfolio things that we've gotten ourselves into. So without further ado, this is in fact the new logo. It took a lot of hard work to come up with this. NewBoCo being the shorter version of what the new Bohemian Innovation Collaborative is. So I'm going to tell you in this first part of this first presentation a little bit about how we got to this point. So again, that's where you're going to see it. It's going to come up in a lot of different ways. Part of the brand you'll see kind of talked about throughout this presentation today. So the need for a name, we've been doing a lot of things. I've been lucky enough to have a front row seat to a lot of this stuff over the course of the past 40 years, but it's never really been combined in a meaningful way. Some people know that the name of the nonprofit and the name of the accelerator are in fact the same name, which is really confusing. So when I tell people that I work for the Iowa Startup Accelerator, in my mind, that connects Vault, that connects Imagination Iowa, connects some more to things like 1 Million Cups and Startup Weekends. But in most people's minds, I can't imagine how that would be possible, because when you think of the accelerator, I'm assuming that you think of the 90-day program that's upstairs. So again, the idea that we wanted to encapsulate the many programs that are happening here, have a way of really describing the work that we're doing within the Iowa Innovation ecosystem. And then the Bohemian, I mean, we're in the new Bohemian district, so this probably isn't a new term for you. But we found over time that new Bohemian is really not a term that's been defined on a global level. So when we were deep diving with City-Cedar Studio with Andy and Amanda and their crew, looking at a name for the organization, it was really interesting for us to discover that the name of this district and what I think New Bohemia as a district stands for hasn't really been defined on a national or a global level. So there's an opportunity there. And if anybody has been drilled by me on doing 1 Million Cups presentations, please take it easy on me during the Q&A, because I tell people don't put a lot of words up on the slides. So yeah, I pretty much just invited you to give me a hard time. So, but anyway, I mean, defining these terms of what a bohemian is, I mean, it's an older term, right? A lot of people came here, but the intellectual tendencies, not following conventional rules, kind of making, blazing your own path, is really what bohemian is all about. The term new bohemian is a 21st century term, which I think, if you really think about all the things that are happening in this area, this really resonated. So when we were going through just looking at what the brand meant, it really resonated with a lot of us that were in that room doing that discovery. So again, any chance that people in the back of the room can actually read my, I don't know if I followed Guy Kawasaki's rule, but good, sweet, all right. So not too many words on the slide. Apparently I won't drill it too hard next time. Making new ideas happen to make things better. So when Amanda gets into the mission, vision, and values, we're going to talk about the things that we're doing locally, but the impact that we're trying to have globally. So bringing early stage tech-based businesses to Cedar Rapids to build their company through the accelerator is one way that we're doing that. But also just kind of launching these people out into orbit wherever they go, just making sure that we're connecting nodes, right? So that even though it's built here or there's a part of its story that's here, that there is stuff that's happening globally. And when I think about the way 1 Million Cups works on a national scale, the way Startup Weekend works on a global scale, these are ways that you realize that there's not just this room doing really cool, amazing things. There are people all over the world doing it. So again, that's part of the reason why I think this really resonates with us. So NewBoCo as an organization is a growing community of entrepreneurs, innovators, creatives, the people that support them who collaborate to accelerate world-changing ideas from Iowa. So again, I don't want to pretend like this is a short process of coming up with this. I mean, in our minds, I think a lot of it started to make sense, but to actually take the time to slow down for a second and to start to define some of the things that we're doing was a really important step. So again, I mean, if you guys can read this in the back, then I won't read it for you, but to be able to reach, inspire, and attract people everywhere, I think is a really, really big thing. Some of the names that we put in, like the Iowa Startup Accelerator, it clearly connects Iowa. The term New Bohemia, again, I think connects locally, but the things that we're trying to do are going to have a global impact. And we believe that we can do that. Talked last night about a staff of 4 that is now growing to 5, but that's big staff. The reality is there's so many volunteers, so many people that support. Big reason why collaborative is in the name is because many of the people in this room are partners of ours, and we're partners of theirs doing some pretty amazing things. So again, I think that the New Bohemian term is more about a person. New Bohemia, I think, is a place, right? So New Bohemian as a person, really focusing on an individual path. And and I'll talk a little bit on the second part of this program about my interest in K-12 education, these individualized learning plans, really meeting people where they're at and providing them the services and the support that they need, at the moment that they need it most. So again, these are things that went into that discussion. And then the new, of course, is focused on the future-oriented, right? So when I think of New Bohemia, I really think of the historical value of that, the Bohemians that came here over a century ago, and really the New Bohemian is where we're going in the future. And I definitely think that we're going together, but to know that we're all on our own individual path, I think is an important distinction to make. And then big shout out to our Vault coworkers, fixtures in the community that I love, 512 Creative. So if you like that logo, my guys at 512 helped us put that together. So is Josh down here too? Or is it? Yeah, good stuff. So, the Startup Weekend, Cedar Rapids logo you guys created, the Imagination Iowa logo you guys created. There's so much of the work from a visual perspective that's been created by the guys at 512. So, huge shout out to them. I don't know how you feel when you see that logo, but to me it's big, it's bold, it's really meaningful, and I think that it really states what I think we were trying to communicate in our brand. So, huge shout out to you guys. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my good friend Amanda West. She's going to tell you about the mission, vision, and values. So, yes, please stand and be loud.
Awesome. It's great to see you all this morning and to talk with you about this organization that means so much to me. In so many ways, NewBoCo is the cumulative of my work with Steve here, and it's the long-term home for our approach to ecosystem building with the whole team that's behind this organization. So you've heard, and you're going to hear in the next section, all the different programs that are part of NewBoCo and have been part of building the entrepreneurial ecosystem for the past 5 years. What I had a chance to do this fall was to take some time with our nonprofit board of directors to say, okay, we're doing a lot, we've learned a lot, we're finding ourselves very much in need of some sort of banner that this all fits under. David was talking about that a little bit. And we need to articulate what it is that we do as a whole and where we're trying to go. And so we spent some time in strategic planning and board retreats, branding brainstorms, and we put words to what this organization is and where we think our place is in the world and our purpose. So for the first time, I'm going to share with you, if my clicker works, I don't know how it works. I'm going to share with you the mission statement, which I know is super exciting. Everybody loves a mission statement. I do think this is a very good one. Very simple. Accelerate world-changing ideas from Iowa. What this one, we're going fast, accelerate, world changing. Our sights are very high. We want to make a global impact, and we're going to do it from here. So let's talk some more about Iowa and how that fits in. We see NewBoCo very much as a statewide organization where we want to support entrepreneurs and innovators and world changers in Sioux City, Des Moines, Ames, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City. A win for any community around the state is a win for us because it's a win for Iowa. Okay. But we're not stopping with Iowa. Already with the Accelerator the past 2 years, you've met incredible entrepreneurs from Australia, Italy, New York, Boston, Silicon Valley. There are world changers coming here to launch their ideas and grow, and we're going to keep working toward making sure that we are supporting people who make an impact all over the world, but they just get to benefit from the incredible things that we have here in Iowa. So that is our vision. Ultimately, what NewBoCo is about is making a global impact and elevating Iowa's brand to make us as a state, as a community known for making big things happen. Those things, successful startup companies, incredible people and talent, products and technologies that change the world, and a better place for everyone. So that is NewBoCo, and David and I